Welcome back to another review, this time Übel Blatt. Here's the synopsis from my anime list. Rumor stirs throughout the land. When the wielder of the black sword draws his dark blade, all who stand in its path are torn asunder. Übel, the mysterious young boy who carries the black sword, undeniably wields it with exceptional skill. But can he truly be responsible for the bloody rumors? Pursued by the traitorous lances, 4 powerful warriors who were thought to have been defeated by the 7 heroes, the strength of the young swordsman will be tested to its limit. At battle's end, only the shocking truth of Kain's quest will stand above the corpses of his enemies. An epic fantasy of the grandest scales. That is a lie. Just taking this from here. Yeah, this synopsis, I mean, it's not very good in my opinion. So the idea is that we are following Übel. Now he is on his path of revenge against the 7 heroes. Why? Now we find out that these 7 heroes, pretty early on, these 7 heroes, they were originally like 13 or 14. They got sent by this empire, I already forgot its name, but they got sent to attack that Wishtech empire. Enemy empire, Wishtech it's called, and they are seen as evil. They're evil, they're doing evil stuff. We need to defeat them. So they send out their heroes, 14 of them, 13 or 14, to defeat that empire, Wishtech. Now on the way they are losing some heroes here and there. So they are left with 11. Now, from these 11, we find out that the 7 heroes we see in the story portrayed as the big heroes that came back and they were the ones who defeated Wishtech. They killed the 4 heroes that are seen as traitors. Now, why did they do that? We will find out later in the story. Doesn't really matter. But that is the point. One of the 4 heroes that got killed somehow is in a new body and is now called Übel. So his whole purpose is go back to the 7 heroes, enact revenge, kill them all. And that is the story more or less. We are following him, how he gets more companions in a normal story type of sense. How he gets his revenge or tries to get his revenge, how he gets spoiled. You get this little cat and mouse play game. Overall, the idea is fine. It's like a revenge story, cool. It's not very well executed. I don't know the original source. I just flew over some of the early pages of the manga to see how is it going in there. It starts totally different in the manga, first off, because one of the big things is this anime does a very poor job of setting everything up. So you follow our character Übel. He's at like a border gate. Now this is at the very beginning. He's at the border gate, stuff happens, and you hear stuff. You hear like he's like a hero of the borderlands. You don't know what the borderlands are at this point, but he's the hero of the borderlands. He's seen as super strong and he has rumors about him, and you do not get any information. It's like, what is happening? You know he got betrayed. You know he got killed by the 7 heroes. You don't know why. You don't know, are the 7 heroes the good ones? Are the 4 the good ones? The 7 heroes are not shown as the good ones, definitely. Especially because you are following one of the 4 heroes that wants revenge. And in the manga, it shows more or less how he got his, seemingly, he got his name as the hero of the Borderlands. I didn't really spend a lot of time on the manga, but I did see that there were a couple chapters before you get to the point where the anime starts. And this is one of those problems. I was very hopeful because I heard the manga is pretty good, people like it. I was hopeful this would be an interesting story. It is somewhat darker, which is nice, a little bit dark, okay. Not a happy-go-lucky story, fine. However, this anime is just not as good. That is the problem. In one of the early episodes, we get our big encounter. He gets like dumpstered, not really, but he has like an episode of total depression for like a whole episode. He's like, oh no, I don't know what to do, and I'm so depressed on my goal. And next episode, he's happy again, and there are a lot of little things that are not making a lot of sense. They don't feel good at all story-wise. Animation, not very good. Characters, I don't like most of these characters. There are like one or two. I can see where they come from. I like them somewhat, but most of them are like, why are they here? They don't make much sense. How stuff is playing out, it doesn't make sense. Motivation and stuff, it is very strange. I just don't really like the story, and it is a shame because especially at the beginning, the first like 5 episodes or so, I saw where it was going, and I was like, just give me more of the backstory, because the backstory is interesting. You go defeat the wish tech. Why do we need to defeat the wish tech? Do we get to find out what wish tech was about? How do we defeat wish tech? And all that, the betrayal, where the other heroes that were not mentioned in the 11, because they sent like 14 or so, where are the other heroes? How did all the heroes fight, and the Borderlands, what went on there? There's a lot of interesting backstory I was a lot more interested in than the story that was unfolding. It is a shame. All together, not good animation. Don't really like most of the characters. I don't like what is happening. It felt like stuff is happening because they needed to happen. Like in a revenge story, I expect people to take revenge, and if you follow someone who's supposedly good and he's not finishing bad people, it's like, why? Just so we can have a fight in like a couple episodes later? It doesn't really make sense. People voted it a 6.2. It's a 6 out of 10. It is a very weak 6 out of 10. The backstory is the only part that is keeping this one alive, and it is just not worth looking into. If you are interested in the story at all, just read the manga. You are served better there.